Hey, this is Jamie at Useful Knowledge. Stay tuned and I'm going to show you how to make blackberry jam. This is the fast and easy recipe. It's just blackberries, sugar, and Sure-Jell. And this is using the Sure-Jell recipe. So stay tuned and you'll see how fast and easy it is to make. Okay, so I went out and I've picked some wild blackberries. Now, I pick a little bit more than a half a gallon, because we're going to need 5 cups of crushed blackberries. In the recipe it suggests getting 8 cups, which is a half a gallon of blackberries, but I always pick a little bit more because when you crush them down you want to end up with at least 5 cups. Okay, what we're going to do first is we're going to take these and we're going to wash them. Okay, I'm going to go through these, get anything out that I don't like, and I'm going to work this until I get a little more than 8 cups of these berries, these pick through berries. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice first. There's one we're going to take out. When you're picking these, that's your first line of defense. Don't pick rotten ones, and try not to get too many leaves in there and stems. You know, I've got some family members, they'll go pick things like grizzly bears and they'll just grab them, and so you have to go through them for an hour. But while you're out picking, make sure you pick good and ripe blackberries, and don't bring stems and leaves and everything else, if you can help it, into them. You can leave that out in the field. Alright, so out of that almost 3/4 of a gallon, I ended up with 2 well-rounded 4-quart measuring cups. We're going to take this, we're going to crush it down, and what we're looking for is 5 cups of crushed berries. Okay, one step I almost forgot about. I took those berries and I put them through a colander just to make sure I got all the water out of them where I washed them. Now we're going to crush these up. Okay, just crush them. It's not going to take long. I have people ask me all the time, can I run these through some type of blender or ninja machine or something like that? I mean, you can. It's just going to completely tear up your berries, because jam, if you're making jam, you want bits of fruit in there. You don't want them pulverized. So think about that before you make it. Pulverized berries. I've done it like this for, well, ever since I was little, and it's always successful. And honestly, it takes you about 2 minutes tops to crush all these berries up. Okay, I don't think I talked about it, but all I'm using is just a potato masher to crush these berries. So now that I've got them crushed up, what we're going to do is I'm going to ladle them into some measuring cups to see how much we got. Again, we're going for 5 cups of crushed berries. Okay, here's everything you're going to need to make your blackberry jam with Sure-Jell. 5 cups of crushed blackberries. You're going to need your Sure-Jell. Okay. I use the original Sure-Jell. Be careful, the low sugar and any other type of Sure-Jell or other brands of Pectin can have chemicals in them. So I don't use anything but the original. You're going to need 10 jelly jars with bands and lids. Alright? You may notice I'm not using a ball lid, and that's because I'm using the Superb brand. I had a viewer suggest these and I started using them this summer, and so far they've been great. These are made in America. They claim a lot better sealing power, and I believe it. Okay, here's the most controversial thing probably. You're going to need 7 cups of sugar. I'm sure there's people already freaking out waiting on me to put this video out, but that's how much sugar is in the original Sure-Jell recipe for blackberry jam. That's the thing, folks. Jams and jellies just take a lot of sugar. Okay, We're going to need a canning funnel. Got a 6-quart pot here, and I've got just I think that's a 2-quart pot, and that's just to heat up my lids. Now, the reason I do that is because I use the open kettle canning method, and so I go ahead and warm my lids. I put these in there on the lowest it'll go in that water, and that just gets them ready when I get ready to seal it. Like I said, I use the open kettle canning method. You can use the water bath. People ask me all the time about open kettle canning. Look in all the old canning books. It's in there. It was a real canning method from the early 1900s all the way up to the 80s. Okay, I'm about to start making my jam. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place 10 8-ounce jelly jars in my oven and turn the oven on to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. People ask me all the time, how long do they need to be in there? At least 15 minutes. That's why when I start making my jam, I go ahead and put these in the oven. Okay, got my jars in the oven. I am going to put 10 of these lids in my little pot over here. I like to separate them out. Put them in there. And turn that on the lowest low you got. We just want to get that water warm right there. Alright, you see this indentation right here? That's not actually supposed to be there. These lids are out of a brand new flat of jelly jars that come from the factory. In my opinion, they put these lids on and then they tighten the ring down on it so tight that I think these lids are compromised. I don't use them. I will use a brand new box of lids. I'll use these for something else like storing things in the fridge or something, but I will not use them for actually canning anything. And a matter of fact, in the old days, they would send you a flat of jars and the lids were in there separate. Okay, that's just a little useful tip for you there. Use a new set of lids. So if you get a flat of jelly jars, the lids are right up above them. Go ahead and buy those, and then you'll be set for a good seal. Okay, now to get down to business. We're going to put our blackberries in. These are 5 cups of crushed blackberries. Okay. The reason Sure-Jell is so cool to use is because you can make a batch of this blackberry jam very quickly. We're going to put this in. People ask me a lot. This is a 1.7 ounce package of Sure-Jell. It's just a standard Sure-Jell package. All you do is you mix this up. Alright, we're going to turn the eye on to a high. This comes up to a full rolling boil. A full rolling boil is simply a boil that when you mix it, like I'm doing now, you stir it or you mix it, it keeps boiling. And it's only going to take probably 2 or 3 minutes to get up to a full rolling boil. Then we're going to add our sugar and we're going to bring that back up to a boil, full rolling. It's going to be ready. That's how fast it is. Okay, I want to show you where we're at. We are getting close to a full rolling boil. So you see that was boiling. I stirred it and it stopped boiling. We're not quite there yet. We're real close though. You can see it's starting to foam up a little bit. And I think the recipe says you can add butter. Look, I don't really like having animal fat in with my jams and jellies. I'm sure it's fine, and it does help with the foam, but I just don't use it. I've never used it. I've never liked the thought of having butter in my jam. Alright, I'm going to show you where we're at. Alright, we're at a full rolling boil. You see I stirred that and the boiling does not stop. Now, count off 1 minute. That's what you're looking for. We're gonna stir this constantly for 1 minute, and this is the straight up Sure-Jell recipe that you can get off their website. So start stirring. We're gonna count off 1 minute. Okay, we have been stirring for 1 minute at a full rolling boil. Now, everybody hates this part that doesn't like sugar. You're gonna put your sugar in. And mix that up. Alright, this usually stirs in quite nicely. So, at this point, we're going to bring this up to a full rolling boil, just like what we just did with the blackberries and the Sure-Jell. Now that we've got the sugar in, this is going to come up to a boil, and we're going to stir it for 1 minute. Okay, as this is coming up to a full rolling boil, I want to tell you something. You folks with gas stoves, it's going to be easy on you to turn it down if you need to. You folks with electric stoves, pay attention when you get it up to a full rolling boil, because it can foam up over if you're not careful. So you may have to turn it down to a medium to medium high and let it finish out at that full rolling boil, just because electric stoves are not instantaneous when you want to turn them down like a gas is. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes since we put the sugar in, and I've stirred this every so often, but not constantly. But we are starting to get to the boiling point to where it is a full rolling boil, because you can see I stir it, it keeps boiling. Alright, we got 1 minute. Start boiling it constantly and watch it to make sure it doesn't come over the top of your pot. I'm going to ease this back to a medium high. Okay, we have stirred this at a full rolling boil for 1 minute. Now I'm going to put this on the low. What I'm going to do now is to get all that skim out. Okay, you want to work quickly, get this skim out. That's the reason I put it on the low, is because I don't want the heat completely off while I get this out. Okay, the rest of that skim, as it cools down while you're canning, is going to go away. Don't throw it out though, because that is some great eating right there. Alright, this is our jars right out of the oven, and we're going to ladle this jam into the jars. Alright, remember when I said you needed that extra one? Well, it made a complete 10 full jars. We got a little bit more in case you need to top 1 or 2 off. Get them all equaled out. Okay. Next, we are going to wipe off the top of these jars. What I'm doing is I'm drying off these lids and placing them on here. I'm getting the water off. That's all I'm doing. Like that, get the water off, place them on your jar. Alright, almost got all the lids on. This is the last one. So since I've turned the jam off, it's probably been about 7 minutes. You just need to work quickly with the open kettle canning method. Now, at this point, we're just putting the bands on. And these jars are super hot. Don't forget that. Okay, now, this is what I do. I taught this when I was a little kid. We're going to tighten each one of these up. Okay? We're going to turn it over for 5 minutes. What that is an old timey canning trick so that if there was any contaminants on the lid as the canning was being done, it's going to be destroyed by the hot jam. Alright. Okay, so we're going to let these sit for 5 minutes. And you can see I've got a pretty good mess here. We're going to clean that up and let these sit for 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. So all we're going to do is turn these over. And you can see I wiped up around them to get all that extra jam that I spilt up. Just turn them over. Now as these cool down, you're going to hear them seal, especially with these Superb brand lids. Now, I'm not being sponsored by Superb, but I do like that these are made in America, and whoever made them, I guess whatever company this is, Superb, they actually wanted good lids for their mason jars. Okay, well, all of my jars are perfectly sealed. And you just saw this one just a few minutes ago in the video seal. And they sound like a truck shutting the door when they seal. There's no doubt about these lids. And like I said, I'm not sponsored by this company, but the lids, so far from what I've seen, they're great. Okay, in the morning, I'm going to open up a jar and we're going to show you how the set is and give it a taste. Okay, let's open this and see what it looks like. So the one good thing about using Sure-Jell is you get a real good set. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so we hope to gain some useful knowledge on how easy it is to make your own blackberry jam using the Sure-Jell recipe with blackberries, sugar, and Sure-Jell. Thanks for watching.